Hey, so this week we focused on the philosopher Descartes, and we read his book Discourse on the Method. I think this book mostly focuses on questions about finding proof for existence itself. This is where the famous quote, "I think, therefore I am," comes from, which in a short summary basically is saying we cannot think if we do not exist, therefore we must at least exist to be able to think. I know that's a little confusing, but it's basically his biggest, this is the biggest idea that Descartes comes to by doubting everything that he can think of. Doubt is kind of the basis for his journey, I guess, in trying to find truth or find things that he can prove undoubtedly. He believed that the ideas and methods that came before him from past philosophers were full of this uncertainty. And so the only way to find an unbiased truth is to start from the very beginning and kind of discard this previous knowledge to start from a unbiased foundation. He kind of believed that everybody had a bias to some degree that they were building their knowledge off of, and he wanted to start from a neutral standpoint. This kind of makes me think of this common theme that I've seen with the past few philosophers that we've looked at, is this idea of almost disregarding the work that's come before them. One person starts from an idea and they kind of move up in this knowledge, and then the next person comes along and it seems to start over again, trying to find truth from a different avenue. Maybe this is the whole point that everybody's trying to get at is all these people from different walks of life trying to explain the same things, and they think the person before them um, came from a biased perspective or whatnot. He later goes on for this to talk about this argument for God, and his biggest thing is because of these unchangeable things like doubt or reason, there must be a source that keeps these things in line, that keeps these things always being true. This is Descartes' reasoning for the existence of God. This idea that a perfect being could not come from an imperfect mind, which I think is kind of this ontological argument that we have looked at before. He sets up some rules for himself um, in this journey, and I think having a rule set like this means that he is more likely to not sway his opinion to be intentionally biased. And some of these rules are things like following the laws of the country that he's in, things like this. I think that having a rule set is a good way to try to avoid this bias that he is set on trying to avoid. Because of this existence from earlier, this idea, I think, therefore I am. The I to Descartes is the soul, and this thinking soul is separate from the body. He believes the soul is separate from the body, therefore it is not subject to the same fate of death as the body. This leads me to my questions for this week. The first question is it a good idea to start over from scratch with information every time and avoid using the knowledge of the philosophers before you? It seems maybe a little counterintuitive to me if everybody's goal is to try to explain what is truth, how can we explain existence, and yet more and more they are discarding these great philosophers of the past. They are discarding their work. My second question is Descartes starts from nothing as far as thinking, trying to find this unbiased point. But my question is it truly possible to eliminate bias, or is everyone always going to view things based on their limitations, things like language, environment, intelligence, etc.? So, thank you.